Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get into it. All right. So shout out to everybody, man. We almost made that goal, you guys. It's the end of the intro, and you guys already got 18 likes on the board. So shout out to everybody for doing that, man. Make sure you guys drop some radiation emojis for yourself because you guys are dope like that. You know what I'm saying? Let me give a shout out to everybody that's in the building. All right, because we got some people in the building. We got Cameron up in here. We got Katsy in the building. We got AB Promotions. We got my man Kid Gravity Samuels. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Kid Gravity Samuels. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to this stream, you chose right. You know what I'm saying? We got Vega in the building. What up with it, Vega? We got my man Steve Alhala Mac from over there in St. Louis, Missouri. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? My man Jay Fields is up in here. That's what's up. My man Al McCowan is in here. That's what's up. So what I was going to do is I was going to start this video off by playing a video that I made 2 years ago. And that video is on my Blacklight Revelations News Reviews and Reactions channel. But I decided not to because I just don't feel like it. I know you guys might be disappointed, you know what I'm saying? But I think I found a more efficient way to get through it than playing that video because there's some history that we got to go through before we get into this. Shout out to Lloyd Sky 9. Shout out to my man Tone. And shout out to my man Black Manta 777. All right. So let me ask you guys a question. And I want everybody to be honest about this. When was the UFO disclosure given? Let me know. Anybody got any guesses? Anybody got any dates? I bet you Katsy knows. I bet you Katsy and Kid Gravity know. I bet you they'd be the first two if anybody knows. Or if anybody watched the video that I put in the community tab, then all of you guys will know. How many of y'all watched the video that I put in the community tab? Shout out to my man Kid Gravity. Kid Gravity said in the 60s. Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. A little bit more recent though, like when you know most of us were born. Corey said Roswell was the 60s. Yeah, that's true. That's facts. That's big facts. What about recently though? You know what I'm saying? Recently, damn it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Atalia Phillips. You guys know. AB Promotion said on the day Joe had his son. that's a good one. You know what I'm saying? And facts. Let me ask you guys a question. How many of you guys knew that there was a UFO disclosure requirement in the C-19 legislation? Yeah, shout out to Emmanuel Carey in 2020. And it was specifically written into the C-19 legislation. Jay Field says when Trump announced the Air Force, or the Air Force, the Space Force. Yeah, the Space Force is more like the no Air Force, right? Because there's no air in space. So, how many of y'all know about Operation Bluebeam? If you guys heard about Operation Bluebeam, give me a thumbs up. If you guys have never heard about Operation Bluebeam, give me a thumbs down. Now, as you guys can see here, this is an article from Sunday, January 10th of 2021. U.S. intelligence agencies have 180 days to share what they know about UFOs, thanks to the C-19 relief and spending bill. Isn't that interesting? What an interesting thing to hide in the C-19 spending bill. Not too many people talked about this. I made a couple videos about this, and I'm pretty sure YouTube throttled them. I'm pretty sure that happened. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a listen here. Of course, We're gonna probably have to go through a bunch of commercials. Yeah, we're gonna have to go through a bunch of commercials. So let me know in the comment section if any of you guys plan on getting any of this. What is this? HQ? Anybody interested in HQ? The rise and fall of HQ trivia. I have no idea what that is. Glitch. Okay, here we go.
It's rotating. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Oh, all thing, dude.
They do say, I mean, I've seen and I've read and I've heard, and I did have one very brief meeting on it, but people are saying they're seeing UFOs. Do I believe it? Not particularly.
Do you think you'd know if there were evidence of extraterrestrials?
Well, I think our great pilots would know. And some of them really see things that are a little bit different than in the past. So we're going to see.
So what do you guys think about that? I think that's pretty interesting. Shout out to Mike Mellis John, B1. What up with it, bro? So now here it says when President Trump signed the $2.3 trillion C-19 relief and government funding bill into law in December, so began the 180-day countdown for U.S. intelligence agencies to tell Congress what they know about UFOs. So now here's my question. What do you guys think that they know about UFOs? And do you guys think that the recent phenomena have anything to do with this? Now, we're going to get into this. This is going to be a long stream because we got a lot of stuff to talk about here. Okay. So let me know what you guys think. And then here it says, no, really. Okay. The Director of National Intelligence and Secretary of Defense have a little less than 6 months now to provide the Congressional Intelligence and Armed Services Committees with an unclassified report about unidentified aerial phenomena. It's a stipulation that was tucked into the committee comment section of the Intelligence Authorization Act for fiscal year of 2021. Which was contained in the massive spending bill. Okay. That report must contain a detailed analysis of UFO data and intelligence collected by the Office of Naval Intelligence, the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, and the FBI, according to the Senate Intelligence Committee's directive. Now, here's my question. How many videos or how much content did you guys hear about or read about this when this first happened? Did you guys hear about this at all? Did you guys see anything about this at all? Let me know what you guys think. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have not smashed that like button, please help your boy out by smashing that like button. Also, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, take a moment, hit that bell icon twice. And also, please help your boy out by sharing the video out to your social media. Okay. So now here it says it should also describe in detail an interagency process of ensuring timely data collection and centralized analysis of all unidentified aerial phenomena reporting for the federal government and designate an official responsible for that process. So now here's my question. When it comes to all of these recent aerial phenomena, who's the individual responsible for preparing the public release reports? Does anybody know? Finally, the report should identify any potential national security threats posed by UFOs and assess whether any of the nation's adversaries could be behind any of the such activity, the committee said. So now this has been going on for this long, and yet there was all these Chinese spy balloons and we didn't know about it. The submitted report should be unclassified, the committee said, though it can contain a classified annex. A spokesperson for the Office of the Director of National Intelligence confirmed to the news to the fact-finding websites Snopes. Congress has long been interested in UFOs. The Pentagon released 3 short videos in April of last year showing unidentified aerial phenomena, clips that the U.S. Navy had previously confirmed were real. The videos, one from 2004 and 2 others from 2015, show what appear to be unidentified flying objects rapidly moving while recorded by infrared cameras. 2 of the videos contain service members reacting in awe at how quickly the objects were moving. One voice speculates that it could be a drone. All right, so like they don't know what these things are. And this is back in 2020. Okay. It's still unclear what the objects are. There's no consensus on their origin. Some believe they might be drones, potentially operated by earthly adversaries seeking to gather intelligence rather than the extraterrestrials we normally equate with UFOs. In August, the Pentagon announced that it was forming a task force to investigate. So now here's the thing, right? They have a lot of money that can go into this as a result of all of the money that was put into it from the C-19 spending bill. The C-19 spending bill. Now, do you guys see how that was snuck in there right under your nose? If you guys see that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't see that, give me a thumbs down. So now here it says members of Congress and Pentagon officials have long been concerned about the appearance of the unidentified aircraft that have flown over the U.S. military bases. Senate Intelligence Committee voted last June to have the Pentagon and intelligence community provide a public analysis of the encounters. Okay. But it's not the first time that the Pentagon has looked into aerial encounters with unknown objects. The Pentagon previously studied recordings of such incidents as part of a since-shuttered classified program launched at the behest of Senator Harry Reid. Okay? How many people knew about that? There was a classified program that was launched by Senator Harry Reid. Well, probably nobody knew about it because it was classified. You know what I'm saying? That program was launched in 2007 and ended in 2012, according to the Pentagon, because they assessed that there were higher priorities that needed funding. The former head of the program, Luis Elizondo, told CNN in 2017 that he believes, quote unquote, there is very compelling evidence that we may not be alone. And this is the head of the program who said that. There's very compelling evidence that we may not be alone. What does that mean? Of course, we're not alone. There's other people on the planet outside of the United States. Right? So shout out to L007, LJ007. What up with it, LJ007? So now here is an old article, right? This is an old article from May 13th of 2020. Newly released incident reports detail U.S. Navy's UFO encounters. If you guys heard about this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys did not hear about this, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to my man DSB. What up with it, bro? Let's check this out. We're going to have some ads again. We're going to have some ads again, so bear with me. While the ads are going on, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the bell. Go check out the backup channels, all right? Or maybe we just won't even get any maybe we just won't get a video. Maybe that's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Let's try this again here. Let's try it again. There we go.
Once you meet with a TurboTax expert who...
There goes the alien right there. What do you guys think? They look similar to humans. Oh man, it looks similar to humans. Slight differences, you know what I'm saying? That's hilarious. And that's because I'm hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. This is the same video, but it doesn't hurt. So here's my question. This particular UFO that they're showing here, one classified video from 2004 off the coast of Southern California caught this image. How many of you all knew about this? If you all knew about this, give me a thumbs up in the comment section. If you did not know about this, give me a thumbs down. Okay.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. The whole thing, dude.
They do say, I mean, I've seen and I've read and I've heard, and I did have one very brief meeting on it, but people are saying they're seeing UFOs. Do I believe it? Not particularly.
Do you think you'd know if there were evidence of extraterrestrials?
Well, I think our great pilots would know. And some of them really see things that are a little bit different than in the past. So we're going to see.
So there's that. All right. So now here it says newly released hazard reports detailing encounters between U.S. Navy aircraft and quote unquote unidentified aerial phenomena reveals data about incidents that were thrust into the spotlight when the Pentagon officially declassified and released videos of 3 encounters late last month. So now these aren't from a home video, right? This is from the Pentagon. You know what I'm saying? The unknown aircraft appeared to be small in size, approximately the size of a suitcase, and silver in color. One report describing an incident from March 26 of 2014 said, during that encounter, one of the Navy F-18 jets passed within 1,000 feet of the object, but was unable to positively determine the identity of the aircraft, the report added, saying that the U.S. Navy pilot attempted to regain visual contact with the aircraft, but was unable. CNN on Wednesday obtained the Navy Safety Center documents, which were previously labeled for official use only. They follow the Pentagon's official release late last month of 3 short videos showing unidentified aerial phenomena that had previously been made public by a private company. Okay. The reports were first published by The Drive, a website covering auto news and military issues, which obtained the documents through a Freedom of Information Act. The video shows what appear to be unidentified flying objects rapidly moving while recorded by infrared cameras. 2 of the videos contain naval aviators reacting in awe at how quickly the objects were moving. One speculates that it could be a drone. The newly released reports appear to share this assessment, describing many of the unidentified aircraft as unmanned aerial systems, the Pentagon's official name for drone aircraft. But remember, this is just what they're assuming that these things are. And shout out to everybody that's answering the Nightbot. Appreciate you guys. According to another incident report from November 2013, a Navy FA-18 pilot was able to visually acquire a small aircraft. The aircraft had an approximately 5-foot wingspan and was covered with no other distinguishable features. Due to the small size, the aircraft was determined to be a UAS, the report said. Another incident from June 27th of 2013 said that they encountered an aircraft that was white in color and approximately the size and shape of a drone or missile, according to the report. Well, that's nice, right? That's nice that we don't know whether it was a drone or a missile, right? But reports say that even when the unidentified flying objects are assessed to be drones, the military was unable to identify who was operating the drone, presenting a major safety and security challenge to the Navy jets training in the area, which are restricted to military training airspace ranges off the east coast of Virginia. Post-flight, the controlling agency contacted numerous local UAS operators, but none claimed knowledge of the unidentified aircraft, the November report said. I feel it may only be a matter of time before one of our FA-18 aircraft has a mid-air collision with an unidentified UAS, one of the authors of a report warned. In many ways, drones pose a greater mid-air risk than manned aircraft. They are often less visually significant and less radar apparent than manned aircraft, the report said. There is also the possibility that the drones could be operated by an adversary, such as Russia or China, who may have been seeking to collect information about the U.S. military operations. What does that sound like? Shout out to Jared Allen. What up with it, bro? What does that sound like, guys? That sound familiar? That sounds like what we're dealing with and what we're talking about these days, aren't we? The quote-unquote Chinese spy balloon. Not the kind of balloons that you get from Chuck E. Cheese. You know what I'm saying? And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we got 44 people watching. Shout out and thank you to all 44 people. If everybody can take a moment and smash that like button, that would be great. That would be great. That would be great. You know what I'm saying? Like Tony the Tiger. The Navy now has formal guidelines for how its pilots can report when they believe they have seen possible UFOs. The videos of the encounter were first released between December of 2017 and March of 2018 by To the Stars Academy of Arts and Sciences, a company co-founded by former Blink 182 musician Tom DeLonge that says it studies information about unidentified aerial phenomenon. So what do you guys think about a former Blink 182 member starting a company like that? And absolutely, Lemon Lucas, Bill Cooper talked about all this. How many people read Behold a Pale Horse? If you guys read Behold a Pale Horse, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't, give me a thumbs down. If you haven't read Behold a Pale Horse, you guys should. You should read Behold a Pale Horse, and you should also read the book called Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, an Operations Manual. This was 2020. So now here it says the truth is out there, you know, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do the whole X-Files thing. Okay. New. So now there's a news report from WCNC. Okay. And this came out a couple days ago. Shout out to Val. Oh, yeah. That was in East Palestine. That's like way in the boondocks. But from what I understand, the Ohio River is contaminated. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, that sucks. You know what I'm saying? So check this out right here.
Developing this morning. Folks, it has happened again. The U.S. military is shooting down another high-flying object. This time it happened Sunday over Lake Huron. It's a Great Lake between Canada and Michigan. Wake Up Show's Bree Jackson now in Washington with what the Pentagon has said so far.
So now remember what the Pentagon has said so far. So remember in 2020, and shout out to my man Afro Elite. Make sure, hey, yo, Kid Gravity, you guys, make sure you guys subscribe to Kid Gravity and Afro Elite's channels. If both of them could drop their links, that'd be great. And you guys could put your link in at whatever intervals you want to in the chat, just so you guys know. In 2020, within the C-19 legislation was the UFO disclosure officially. You know what I'm saying?
Pentagon is declining to describe these recent objects as balloons, but this is the fourth takedown in just 8 days, and lawmakers on Capitol Hill say they're being left in the dark about the situation. The U.S. military shooting down a fourth unidentified high-altitude object Sunday, this time over Lake Huron.
What's gone on the last 2 weeks or so, 10 days, has been nothing short of craziness. And the military needs to have a plan to not only determine what's out there, but determine the dangers that go with it.
President Biden ordering the takedown after military officials raised concerns about the object's path and altitude, saying it was a safety flight hazard and a threat due to its potential surveillance capabilities. This marks the third object blasted out of the sky in just 3 days, and comes a week after a Chinese surveillance balloon had Americans' eyes glued to the sky.
So now here's my question. What are the other objects? What do you guys think that the other objects could possibly be? And remember, they have to do all of this now that these UFO disclosures are, quote unquote, supposedly, right? They're supposedly not classified anymore. So they have to keep this stuff declassified and allegedly put it out there to the public. And I got to agree with Ricky. Ricky says this is just to scare the public. I think so. I think they want to see how, I think they're kind of test rolling it out to see how people respond to it. If you guys agree with Ricky, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down and let me know why you disagree.
They do appear somewhat trigger happy, although this is certainly preferable to the permissive environment that they showed when the Chinese spy balloon was coming over some of our most sensitive sites.
Military leaders say the Pentagon has been more closely scrutinizing U.S. airspace. Officials are still collecting data to
So now now here's shout out to Fantisi. Now we putting two and two together. Why would the Pentagon be more closely scrutinizing the airspace? You see? They've been closely scrutinizing it. And I think right now, like Ricky is saying, they're rolling this out to see the public response. This is like a litmus test. You know what I'm saying?
determine what the recent objects are as bipartisan calls for transparency grow.
Why?
Oh, well, there you go. You see how did you see how the Democrats and the Republicans came together right there? Look at that. Look at that. Now, if they could just do that for reparations, that'd be nice, right? Let me look at this. The Democrats and the Republicans will come together for this. You know what I'm saying? But they definitely won't come together for reparations. So just keep that under wraps. You know what I'm saying? Just keep that under wraps.
To determine what the recent objects are as bipartisan calls for transparency grow.
Why it's taking so long for number one, for me personally, to identify these objects. Two, why is it taking so long for them to be shot?
So look at that map. Look at that map. All right. So now remember, this right here is February 4th was the Chinese spy craft. And honestly, this is just what the media is saying what it is. We don't know if that's actually what it is. That's just what the media is calling it, right? But that was on February 4th. Since then, Friday, an object was shot down, as you can see up here. And anybody who kind of follows this stuff knows that the North Pole, Arctic Circle area up there around Alaska and like up in Canada, the tundra, you know what I'm saying? Like the, what do they call that? The Scandinavian area in Canada is kind of weird, with a lot of weird stuff being seen, right? Then on Saturday in Canada, right? But these things that are shot down after February 4th are just quote unquote objects. And nobody knows what they are. And I don't think they've showed any video of those things either. Yeah, I got to agree with Theo. They come together to be against reparations. Facts. If you guys agree with Theo, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. And I agree with Jared too, because they're both full of shit. Facts.
Down.
In the absence of information, people's anxiety leads them into potentially destructive areas. So I do hope that very soon the administration has a lot more information for all of us on what's going on.
Lawmakers are pushing for a briefing on the unidentified flying objects. The Pentagon continues to.
So what I find interesting is that while talking about unidentified flying objects, they keep showing the one object that they've identified. So again, just pay attention to the media tricks and just the nonsense that the media does. So now here we got an article from Fox 13. All right. And the article from Fox 13 is titled "Balloons, Aliens. What do we know about objects shot down by the U.S. over the weekend. Well, here's one thing that we know about the objects shot down by the U.S. over the weekend. They didn't belong to Russia because we didn't get any nukes sent over here. You know what I'm saying? We're all still here. We're all still alive. Nobody shot anything 8-ball corner pocket into Yellowstone. You know what I'm saying? So we woke up the next morning, right? All the buildings are still upright, at least that I know of. So it couldn't have been anything too serious or anything that belonged to anybody of any significance, possibly. Or it could have been, you know, some kind of decoy. Who knows? Balloons, aliens. What do we know about objects shot down by the U.S. over the weekend? We don't know anything other than what they're going to tell us. And what they're going to tell us is just what they choose to tell us. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says on Sunday, an unidentified object was shot down by U.S. fighter jets over Lake Huron. All right. And Lake Huron is in the Great Lakes area. The fourth taken down over North America in less than 2 weeks. Now, here's my question. Have you all heard about this phenomenon happening anywhere else in the world? Shout out to Carlton. What up with it, bro? If you guys have heard about this going on anywhere else in the world, give me a thumbs up. If you guys have not heard about it going on anywhere else in the world, and this is something that's just strictly going on here in the United States, then give me a thumbs down. Okay. It's unclear if there are more objects in and near the U.S. airspace, or if officials are finding more because they are looking for more following the flight of a Chinese spy balloon across the U.S. before it was shot down. While there are still many questions about the objects, here's what we know. What is the timeline for the shoot down of the 4 objects? Here's what we know about the objects that were spotted and when they were shot down. The first object was shot down Saturday, February 4th. It was a huge Chinese spy balloon that was shot down over the East Coast on February 4th after it drifted for days across the United States. According to military officials, the balloon carried a gondola that was roughly the size of 3 school buses that contained antennas and solar panels. The device, which apparently had a guidance system, is believed to be used to send and gather surveillance information. It flew at around 60,000 feet. The second object was shot down on Friday, February 10th. The second object was shot down and spotted north of Alaska on Thursday. That object, which lacked any propulsion system of control, according to military officials, was shot down by F-22 Raptors over the coast of northeastern Alaska. The object was said to be the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, according to U.S. officials. Now, here's my question. How come they didn't get close enough and get any pictures? They just shot it down. How are they going to do any research or any kind of reverse engineering to see what it was, to see if it was anything harmful? You know what I'm saying? To see if it was anything that could be detrimental to U.S. airspace. How are you going to do any further study if it's gone, if it's blown up? What do you guys think? How are they going to do any kind of recognizance on it? Here's my question. I wonder what the procedure was before they shot at it. Did they try to establish contact with it? Do they have any pictures of it? Are we able to watch any video? Now we're just going to hurry up and blow it up. Here's my question. Is that really the best approach to take? You would think that if they saw these things with the military and the military jets and all this stuff, that we would have some footage of them moving, of them flying, what they look like, maybe a piece of it, some of it collected. If we don't know what it is, how do we know that if we shoot it, it's not going to leak radioactive materials or, you know, a radioactive plume that spreads all over the world? We don't know what this thing is. We don't know what this thing is made of. We don't know what it's capable of. What if it has some kind of spores in it? What if it has some kind of poison in it? Here's my question. What was the assessment that was done? It's just like how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. Some people say 3. Other people say the world will never know. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says the Washington Post reported that President Biden was notified about the second object the day before it was shot down and ordered it be destroyed, National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said. What I would want to do is I would want to capture it and see how it bypassed the security, is what I would want to do. Yeah, oh yeah, it could be like Cobra Law, spores. You know what I'm saying? Them spores could be all over the place. You know, the spores, they're just, all they are is just on the back of mushrooms, on the back of fern plants. That's how fungi spread. And a lot of fungi is poisonous. And if we don't know what this thing is or where it's at, we don't know if it's an allergen that humans could be hyper allergic to. Like, these are all questions that you would think that a high level official at the CIA, you know, somebody like Tommy Lee Jones on Men in Black or Will Smith would be asking. You know what I'm saying? You would think that. You would think that. What if this thing was powered by plutonium, or if it was powered by uranium and they just shot it out of the sky? Oh, it just caused a nuclear reaction. And guess what? If it was powered by plutonium or powered by uranium and we blew it up, guess what else that would do? Not only would that put nuclear contents into the atmosphere all over the place, but what it would also do is it would create an EMP and knock out all of the electrical systems that are within the blast radius. You know what I'm saying? It's just things to think about, just questions to ask. And we're going to get this to the local news, and we're going to get this to the New York Times and the New York Post so we can ask all the questions for you and act like we're doing actual journalism. We're not. You know what I'm saying? Carlton says we have 12K cameras and there's never clear footage of these reparations distractors when flying in the air. Facts. Exactly. You think the little green men from Mars said, we see FBA approaching reparations. They need to be deterred. Let's contact the United States government. Get Joe Biden on the phone. You think that's what they did? I agree. I think that this is a distraction that they chose to roll out right now. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. You know what I'm saying? We're just going to fool these motherfuckers and think that ET actually is about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, there's somebody out there connecting dots that's not there, because there's a lot of people that are crazy and most people are just baseline hallucinating anyway. Like, no, that shit's not there. You're just crazy and you didn't take your lithium this morning. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, now you got somebody sitting up there talking about, see, this, that chess shit that Kanye was talking about. See, the real reason why he quit and left is because he was contacting these motherfuckers to come down right at the right time. And these aliens finna get them folks together. There's somebody out there that's ruining their life and their perceptions of sanity by communicating idiocy like that to somebody else right now, in each state, in each city, on each street. You know what I'm saying? This shit wild, man. Listen, how many people saw that TV show Z Nation about the zombies? If you guys saw Z Nation, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't see Z Nation, give me a thumbs down. Now, if you guys remember, one of the things that was interesting about Z Nation is that as Z Nation progressed, it actually went through every conspiracy theory. Oh, you're going to get a mark of the beast. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know, the aliens in Roswell and, you know, the one world currency. They went through them all. They went through the whole conspiracy theory, revelations, end time package, the bundle pack. You know what I'm saying? You get the mark of the beast and the juice for $3.99. You know what I'm saying? But what I thought was interesting about Z Nation was that they put a little spin on the UFO situation. And in Z Nation, the spin that they put on it was the UFOs were actually manufactured, you know what I'm saying, by a private company, which, if you ask me, is not out of the realms of possibility, seeing that we have companies like Tesla and SpaceX. We already know that Elon Musk is trying to get to Mars. And I don't know if you guys know, but Bill Gates has his own floating space mansion. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, who knows? Honestly, who knows? And these are companies that work directly with the United States government. So even if there was something shady going on, do you think that they'd actually let us know? You know what I'm saying? You think they'd actually let us know? Wait for the Andrew Tate videos to come out. Natalia said, there's about to be. I'm about to go make a thumbnail for that right now. The real reason why Andrew Tate got locked up and where he is right now. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm a Photoshop like an astronaut hood over his head with some fake reptilian aliens. So now here it says the third object shot down Saturday, February 11th. The third object, described by officials as cylindrical, was shot down over Canada's Yukon territory. It had been flying at about 40,000 feet. So this thing looks like a tube. There's a tube just flying around. Think about that. It's a damn tube, like a missile or something like that, just flying around. The North American Aerospace Defense Command first detected the object Friday evening. According to Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, he spoke to Biden and then ordered the object to be shot down after it violated Canadian airspace. Canadian and U.S. aircraft were scrambled, and a U.S. F-22 successfully fired at the object, Trudeau said. The remains of the craft are being recovered, according to Canadian officials. Here's my question. Has anybody seen any pictures of the remains of these things that were shot down? If you guys have seen the remains of them, give me a thumbs up. If you guys have not, give me a thumbs down. Yeah, he probably the next thing that Bill Gates will probably try to buy is the Sedvar food seed vault. How many people know about the Sedvar seed vault? You know what I'm saying? So now the fourth object shot down Sunday, February 12th. The fourth object was first spotted on Saturday near the U.S.-Canada border, about 70 miles north of Montana. The military first made contact with the object at 4:45 p.m. on Saturday, and two F-15 fighters from Portland, Oregon, scrambled to investigate the object that was flying much lower at 20,000 feet than the other crafts. According to the Pentagon, at 6 p.m., the object crossed into U.S. airspace. The fighters were in position near the object, but the sun set, and neither the pilots nor radar equipment could see it. Well, that's comforting that you know what I'm saying, when the sun goes down, you can't see shit with any of the U.S. military grade equipment. That's very comforting. My question is, has the government or has the media asked the question, are we concerned that these may be coordinated appearances of these objects? Were these objects communicating with each other? Are they all from the same origin point? Those to me would be questions that would be pretty important to ask. You know what I'm saying? Nat Turner, shout out to Nat Turner, says that aliens may be coming because we are at the brink of nuclear war. They have disabled nuclear weapons in the past. What was that thing called? The doomsday clock is at 30 seconds to midnight. I think if you guys are subscribed to Just Talking with TD and Rob, me and TD actually talked about that recently on one of our streams. Carlton says we have the James Webb telescope that can see light years away into different galaxies, but we can never see these UFOs. Yeah, I know, right? Ain't that crazy? Think about let's sit back and think about that. We can see detailed pictures of what's going on in the Andromeda galaxy, but we have no idea what goes on in Alaska. It's like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So now here it says by Sunday, the object described as octagon-shaped was confirmed to be moving east across Wisconsin. At 2:24 p.m., an F-16 using an AIM-9X Sidewinder missile shot down the object about 15 nautical miles north of the Upper Peninsula above Lake Huron. What are they? Except for the first object, a surveillance balloon, no one seems able or willing to say exactly what the other three objects are or where they came from. Let me ask you guys a question. Isn't this kind of how Independence Day started out? We got a lot of science fiction movies look like they might be on the verge of coming true. We got iRobot, artificial intelligence, sentient robots and GPT chat. We got pandemics all over the place. Strange phenomena in outer space. Who knows? A Defense Department official said the object shot down Friday is most likely a balloon, is most likely not a balloon. American officials said Saturday's object, the one described by Canadian authorities as cylindrical, is more likely a balloon of some kind. So it's one of them wiener balloons that they make at the birthday party. You know them little wiener dog balloons that be flying around that they could take off of the helium machine? I guess that's what it was. According to a report from Reuters, NORAD Commander General Glenn Van Herrick said on Sunday that he would not rule out any explanation for the objects, including something sent from another planet. Well, what planet would it be sent from? Because according to the ones nearest to us, there's nobody there, according to what modern science says. So what planet would this come from? You know what I'm saying? Carlton Way said 2023 popping. We got aliens, undocumented and passport bros, pandemics, reparations movements, OnlyFans model. What a time to be alive. Facts. And I thought the 80s was dope. I thought the 80s was dope. You know what I'm saying? This shit lit right here. So now here it says, asked whether he had ruled out an extraterrestrial origin for the 3 airborne objects shot down by U.S. warplanes, Van Herrick said, I'll let the intel community and the counterintelligence community figure that out. I haven't ruled out anything. That's interesting. At this point, we continue to assess every threat or potential threat unknown that approaches North America with an attempt to identify it, Van Herrick told reporters on Sunday. Another U.S. defense official, speaking on condition of anonymity, told the military or said that the military had seen no evidence suggesting any of the objects in question were of extraterrestrial origin. Here's my question. We've never seen anything of extraterrestrial origin. So what would it be that would suggest that this is not of extraterrestrial origin? I know, right? It's only February, Cassie. It's only February. We already getting down. You know what I'm saying? In the White House briefing on Monday, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said there's no indication of aliens or extraterrestrials with these recent takedowns. So shout out to Jean-Pierre. She made the assessment before any of the intelligence community did. So she must know something that everybody else doesn't. So far, neither military nor government officials have been able to say what propelled the 3 objects shot down over the weekend or what kept them afloat. The New York Times writes that a public report released last month said that of 366 unexplained aerial incidents investigated since 2021, 163 were later identified as balloons. What a buzzkill. You know what I'm saying? What a buzzkill. You know what I mean? If you guys want to check out this report that the New York Times did, is talking about all these different UFOs or whatever, let me know. We'll do a separate stream about it later on in the week. If you guys want that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't want that, give me a thumbs down. I got this article up over here. I'm going to just slide it to the right. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you guys know what's going on in outer space. Probably most of you don't, because I don't think anybody has been there. You know what I'm saying? You might know some people that look like they came from there, but I don't think any of us have been there as of late. How many people are familiar with the Carrington event? I bet you Cassie and Fantizzi and possibly Kid Gravity know what's up with the Carrington event. If you guys know what the Carrington event is, give me a little brief summary of it in the chat. I don't know if you guys were something weird this week, and 3 other space stories that you may have missed this week. An oddball new exoplanet, small but significant steps towards the future of spaceflight, and a mystery in the Kuiper Belt. All right. So let's look at this. Let's see what they're talking about. How many of you guys know where and what the Kuiper Belt is? Let's see.
Starting off, this week saw some big tests for the future of spaceflight. After what's become an almost routine Falcon 9 satellite.
Hey, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to the FBI snitch over on Twitch. Ave Ammo says, "Hi, I'm an FBI sympathizer snitch. Am I allowed here?" That's hilarious. Should we allow the snitch? We got to speak in code, though. You know what I'm saying? Look, they spying on us. Who knew? Who would have known that they would have sent a probe? They would. Who knew they would have sent a probe over there on Twitch? You know what I'm saying?
Satellite launch on Tuesday. On Thursday, SpaceX fired up all but.
Wait a minute, Avo. I want to know a question real quick. You'll only be allowed to stay if you answer this question. Are you looking at the screen? Did you fly in on this or no? You have to let us know if you came in on this or not. This motherfucker said coming in hot.
On Tuesday. On Thursday, SpaceX fired up all but 2 stages of the 33-stage booster rocket meant for their long-awaited Starship spacecraft in Texas. If all goes well, SpaceX says the first.
Oh, shout out to my man JB Easy. My man JB Easy says, yeah, the Kuiper Belt is the area past Neptune. Facts. Now, here's my question. How many people knew that they found a trans-Neptunian object a couple years ago? I think it was discovered, if I'm not mistaken, by Caltech and a scientist named Mike Brown. That's about the size of a smaller exoplanet. I forget the official name for it, but that's the planet that they've been calling Planet X. He says he lives on the ship known as grass-covered Earth. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the people who live on grass-covered Earth. I live on concrete-covered Earth. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different here.
First Starship launch could happen as early as March.
I don't know if you've ever been to the planet, but if there's one place you want to stay away from, it's the suburbs. It's very difficult to survive there. It's hostile, full of creatures and critters. You know what I'm saying? And the natives there can be extremely homicidal.
Over in Hancock County, Mississippi, NASA fired up a new rocket engine they hope will power future flights to the moon. And in India, after a failed launch in August, ISRO succeeded in launching.
Hey, you know what I just realized, speaking of surviving the suburbs, when it came to the UFOs and the Chinese and the Chinese spy balloons, even they couldn't survive the suburbs.
Its small satellite vehicle, or SSLV, into orbit. Moving outside of Earth space, NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory recorded a massive polar vortex form around the sun after a giant plasma filament broke off from the sun's north pole. This is the first time anything quite like this has been recorded, and the scientific community.
You guys were supposed to be telling me what the Carrington event was. Now, here's my question. You see, it says this huge filament of solar plasma has broken off and is circling the North Pole. Now, circling the North Pole of the sun, of course. You know what I'm saying? Oh, by the way, check this out. You see this right here? Look at this. Face masks made little to no difference in preventing the spread of C-19. Would you have guessed that? How many how many people how many people would have guessed that?
Isn't exactly sure why. And while that's a terrifying sentence to have to say out loud, the National Center for Atmospheric Research says increased solar activity is a common feature of the 11-year solar cycle, in which
Now, see how they talking about the 11-year solar cycle? The Carrington event is a time when there was a solar storm that was so strong, it wiped out the telegraph system on Earth. Yeah, Corey got it. Everybody drop some radiation emoji in the chat for Corey. The Carrington event was a large geomagnetic storm that took place in 1859, similar to what's being discussed now. Super facts. You know what I'm saying? Super facts.
which the sun reaches its solar maximum before switching poles and resetting to solar minimum. The sun's projected to reach its next solar maximum in 2024. And finally, astronomers discovered a potentially habitable exoplanet orbiting a star 31.2 light years away.
A potential habitable exoplanet.
Exoplanet orbiting a star 31 in 2024. And finally, astronomers discovered a potentially habitable exoplanet orbiting a star 31.2 light years away in the Cygnus constellation, represented here by whatever this is supposed to be. The planet, Wolf 1069b, is just a little larger and about 25% heavier than Earth, and appears to have a rocky surface. Its presence in the so-called habitable zone of its solar system, not too hot and not too cold, suggests that there could also be liquid water on its surface and an atmosphere. But don't pack your bags yet, because that's kind of where the similarities to Earth end. Wolf 1069b is tidally locked to its sun, so it doesn't have day and night like we do. One half of the planet is always day, and the other half is always night. And that, combined with being much closer to a much smaller and cooler host star, means the surface temperature could swing between negative 140 degrees Fahrenheit and about 55 degrees Fahrenheit. But still, the ingredients for alien life could be there, even if it might not be a great place to visit.
So there's that. Okay. So now here it says, space is very big and quite often very weird. Last week, an image captured by NASA's Renaissance orbiter looked like a bear, and the green comet reached its closest point to Earth in 50,000 years. So now there's been increased meteors also over the last, I would say, 5 to 10 years. Were you guys aware of that? Black Knight Discussion says, what's up with this hippie weird music? I know, right? It sounds like Pulp Fiction elevator music, doesn't it? Shout out to my man KO Kid Fit. This week, we've got a whole new set of developments. Here's what you may have missed, okay? So basically here, they're just going over what we saw in that video. You know what I'm saying? There goes the sun, son. You know what I'm saying? So we don't really need to read or look at any of this. Basically, we get the idea. It's going down in outer space. Now, one thing that you guys should know is that trans-Neptunian objects have consolidated with inside of the Kuiper belt. A lot of them. Okay. I mean, you guys knew that. There's an article that talks about a dense ring of trans-Neptunian objects inside of our solar system. February 2022, new trans-Neptunian objects. What you guys should do is just look up the term trans-Neptunian objects, and you'll find all kinds of articles that talk about them. Okay? I'm going to put one up on the screen for you guys. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, make sure that you guys smash that like button. And also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Mysterious new trans-Neptunian object could help search for Planet 9, which we all know is Planet X, astronomers say. Now, this was in February 17 of 2022. All right. So, you know, these trans-Neptunian objects, they pop up and disappear all the time. All over the place. If I'm not mistaken, you know what? Let's look at this actually, because this video might actually say something interesting. Let's see. Hold on real quick. Can you guys hear anything? There it goes.
Mirror, mirror on the sky, where does the strangest planet lie? We've journeyed through the familiar districts of the solar system. The inner zone, domain of the rocky metallic planets and the asteroids. The outer zone, kingdom of the gas giants and their entourages of moons. But somewhere around the orbit of Neptune, astronomers start seeing things, peculiar things. Welcome to the realm of the oddballs. Welcome to the third zone.
Okay, this is like some old 1960 weirdness. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody just cut a whole bunch of clips out of what's the name of that shit? The Twilight Zone. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to sit here and show you guys something and make a case, and this motherfucker talking about mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the most beautiful planet of all? Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So now, an asteroid exploded over the English Channel. Were you guys aware of that? That happened. And honestly, like this has actually been happening all over the place frequently. Okay. This has been going down frequently. Okay. A small asteroid exploded over the English Channel just after it entered Earth's atmosphere, several media outlets reported. It's called an airburst, and it was only the 7th time that an asteroid impact had been predicted before it happens, the Telegraph reported. The European Space Agency had predicted that the asteroid was going to, quote unquote, safely strike the Earth's atmosphere near the French city of Rouen. Okay. A 1-meter meteoroid has been detected and is expected to safely strike Earth's atmosphere over northern France between 350 and 403 CET. I don't know what CET is. Is that like Central European time or something like that? What does CET mean? Does anybody know? Yeah, the narrator sounds like an over-exaggerated William Shakespeare. You know what I'm saying? Ave Ammo says, I believe that Elon Musk should robotically mine Mercury and Venus of rare minerals and build robot-operated foundries on Mercury and Venus. I don't believe that Elon Musk should do that. I believe that a B1 company funded by Dr. Claude Anderson should do that. Elon Musk can sit his ass down somewhere or keep digging around on Mars. Or he can do what I'm sure he's told a bunch of people to do before. Elon Musk can, quote unquote, go back to Africa. You know what I'm saying? So now here, let's look at this right here. This might be some video footage. Let me see what they got over here. This ain't nothing. I hate when they have videos and those videos don't show anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Elon Musk is already doing good. He can sit his ass down somewhere. Somebody else can do something. You know what I'm saying? So now here it says a small asteroid was expected to safely impact in the French English Channel in about 4 hours' time. An object size around 1 meter should appear bright as the moon momentarily as it enters the atmosphere. So that would be it in the friction of the object hitting the atmosphere and then the acceleration and it burning as it's going through the oxygen. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I thought that was interesting. And if you guys track, how many of y'all watch this YouTube channel called Woodward TV? They got some good content on there, but they talk about this kind of stuff. All right. Now, here go my question for you guys. If you guys want me to talk about this kind of stuff more, in addition to what I already talk about, give me a thumbs up in the comment section. If this is like some whacked out tinfoil koofy stuff that y'all don't want to hear about ever again, give me a thumbs down. Okay. Let's see what she's talking about. She looked like she just got out of a spaceship with her head shaped like that, like somebody just threw a wig and some makeup on an alien face, and there she go. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she came out of that balloon and took over CNN. What y'all think?
The U.S. military has shot down another high-altitude object, this time over Lake Huron. This is according to a U.S. official and a congressional source briefed on the matter. This would be the fourth object brought down by U.S. fighter jets in the past 9 days. CNN's Kylie Atwood is at the State Department. Kylie, what are you learning?
Yeah, that's right, Paula. And the third object brought down in just the last 3 days. Of course, we're learning that this high altitude object was traveling and shot down over Lake Huron, which is north of Michigan, in between, Michigan.
DSB says she got a shout out to PD Chicago B1. DSB says she got a light bulb head. Yeah, she's sitting up there looking like Squidward. You know what I'm saying? She's sitting up there looking like Squidward.
And Canada right up there. That is according to a U.S. official and a congressional source briefed on the matter. It appears that members of Congress from Michigan are learning more about this in conversations with the.
You remember she probably be bumping that song that Katy Perry and Kanye West made. Remember that Kanye West and Katy Perry made that alien song, the extraterrestrial? She probably like, dude, this is my fucking jam. I remember when I was flying in the fucking upper Earth atmosphere and I had this shit on fucking 10. And now I just blend in with society and work for CNN while sending information back to the empire. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Pentagon today. I want to read to you what Congresswoman Slotkin tweeted just in the last few hours or so, saying, quote, "The object has been downed by pilots from the U.S. Air Force and National Guard. Great work by all who carried out this mission, both in the air and back at headquarters. We're all interested in exactly what this object was and its purpose." We're also hearing from other members of Congress from Michigan, Congressman Bergman, saying that he is appreciative of what he's calling the decisive action of the fighter pilots here. So there's a lot more to learn about, just what exactly this object was. I think Arlette, our colleague, is getting some more colleagues from her sources on that. But it's notable that this was actually, something that the United States was able to track, potentially in part because NORAD over the last week adjusted its controls to better detect slow-moving objects at high altitudes. So what they were able to do is, put into place these FAA temporary flight restrictions into spaces where they were seeing potentially an object come through. The question remains an open one as to if there are more objects coming into U.S. airspace now, or if these adjustments are just allowing them to detect them at a higher rate.
Now, that's actually a good question that she brings up. And immediately it looks like her face went into stroke mode. And this woman on the right still looks like an artificial intelligence, or she looks like a alien, you know what I'm saying, with a wig on. But regardless, you know what I'm saying, what the woman on the left said actually is interesting. And I want to ask you guys that question that she just posed. Do you guys think that the equipment is better and these things have always been there and they're just now detecting them? Or do you think that they all just suddenly appeared here and there's an acute issue that we need to deal with? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have not smashed that like button, please make sure you guys take a moment, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, help your boy out. We have a goal of 10,000 subs by the end of the year on Blacklight Revelations 1 and Blacklight Revelations 2. Hit that bell. All right. And share the video to your social media. All right.
Paula.
Kylie Atwood, thank you. And CNN's Paula Newton joins us now. Paula, what are the Canadian officials saying about this?
Yeah, well, suffice it to say that Canadian officials obviously have been also keeping a close eye on any high altitude objects, as you say, that NORAD has been surveilling. I mean, look, Lake Huron basically cuts across both the U.S.
Slow down, sweetheart. She said, ha, ha, like, ha, ha, like, ha. Whoa, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Slow it down. Take it easy. You know what I'm saying? I know sometimes right before work, you know what I'm saying, everybody got to dip their head into that nose powder so they can do what it takes to get through the day. Some people take coffee, some people take Coke, and I ain't talking about cola. But you need to slow it down before you get in front of the camera. She did them karate moves. She did them karate type stutter. She said, hit, 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 hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real.
Officials saying about this.
Yeah, well,
You see that big sigh. She said, oh God, here's the big moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, relax, man. Take some damn Xanax. See, if you have anxiety issues and you doing some shit that you're not supposed to do, if you're gonna do some shit that you're not supposed to do, at least do the shit in a way that it helps. You see what I'm saying? Don't go in there after doing some meth and doing some cocaine and then say, I need to get my shit together, so I'm gonna take some Adderall. Now you about to be going like the damn Flash, and that's not gonna help anybody's case, and it's gonna make the news a lot harder to watch and a lot harder to digest. If you know you on 500, slow your ass down and take some damn downers. Smoke some indica. You know what I'm saying? Do some shit like that. I'm not trying to be funny. It looks like she's halfway out, but it looks like she's about to crawl out of her skin. Relax.
Paula, what are the Canadian officials saying about this?
Yeah, well, suffice it to say that Canadian officials obviously have been also keeping a close eye on any high altitude objects, as you say, that NORAD has been surveilling. I mean, look, Lake.
Hit.
So keeping a close eye on any high altitude objects, as you say, that NORAD has been surveilling. I mean, look, Lake.
Hit. You'll get it. Jake, hake, hit. You know what I'm saying? Fake, Jake, make, sake, quake, ache, cake. God damn it. Okay. Lake. That's what I was looking for. Lake for 500, Alex. Like, for real.
Huron basically cuts across both the U.S. And Canadian territories. And for that reason, leaders on both sides, both President Biden and Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, would have been kept informed of what was going on with this object. Now, when I asked Canadian officials, they referred me to NORAD, which was responsible for this operation. But defense officials in Canada did promise to get back to us with more information about exactly what went on there. I will note that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is en route to Yukon. A complete coincidence, Paula, in terms of him being there the day after Canada ordered that high altitude object to be shot down in Yukon. What's interesting here, though, was when Prime Minister Justin Trudeau spoke this morning before that trip, he did say that they felt that this was a threat to civil aviation, and that's why he thought that the object had to come down.
So now here's my question. What made him think that it was a threat to civil aviation? Maybe because the radar systems aren't detecting it efficiently enough, and he's thinking that this thing could cause accidents with military and commercial planes. And yeah, I gotta agree with Katsy. They seem to be staying up north. The position of these things could possibly be an indication of a pattern or something, right? It seems like they're not in random locations. It seems like there's a pattern to where they're located at. And if you ask me, one of the things that they should be looking into is the cause of that pattern, or to actually see if there is a pattern. You know what I'm saying? Because this is just something that I'm noticing. You know what I'm saying? This is not any, we don't know if that's an actual pattern or not. It would have to be studied. But what I find interesting is that in all of these discussions about this particular incident, what it seems like is that they already have their explanation for these things made up. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, it seems like they already have a pre-manufactured and pre-written public narrative that they want to push and they want everybody to believe. Give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that that's the case, give me a thumbs down and give me your opinion on what you think might actually be going on.
As soon as possible, unlike those objects that they perhaps had been surveilling for days. The other thing that was interesting,
shout out to
here
Terrence.
was that,
What's up with it, bro?
Object over Yukon, they had been surveilling it for at least a day before they actually shot it down. What will be interesting here, Paula, is to note exactly when they detected this object. Was it also coming through that northern path from Canada, or did it float in from somewhere else over the Great Lakes, perhaps? Still a lot of questions.
Oh, we got some news. Shout out to my man Torian Rain. Torian says, Rob, did you hear? According to Chris Berman, it was Abe Lincoln who made it possible for Jalen Hurts and Patrick Holmes to play in the Super Bowl. Really? If I recall correctly, if it was up to Abraham Lincoln, black men not only wouldn't even be able to play in sports because it would elevate the financial status a little bit too much, but if they had allowed black people to play in sports, they definitely wouldn't let any black men play as the quarterback, because Abraham Lincoln was a firm believer that white people should hold the superior position in every element of society. His words, not mine. But don't ask Ron DeSantis, because Ron DeSantis will tell you that Abraham Lincoln's famous quote was that all men are created equal. So, you know what I'm saying? There's that. But I'm not surprised, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not surprised.
Questions again. Canadian officials promised to get back to us, but right now they are.
Did you guys notice that the woman on the right's face has changed? She shape-shifted right in front of our eyes while the camera cut away.
Referring questions to NORAD, which they say took the lead on this operation after getting the order from U.S. President Joe Biden.
Carly, the Pentagon is now addressing this incident. What are you learning?
Yeah, the Pentagon press office telling reporters just in the last few minutes here, Paula, that this object was shot down over Lake Huron at 2:42 p.m. this afternoon at the direction of President Biden by F-16 fighter jets. They're saying that it didn't pose a military threat, but it did potentially pose a threat to civilian aircraft. And that is because it was traveling, according to this statement, at about 20,000 feet elevation. Now, when you think about, everyday aircraft, they fly at about 30,000 feet. So this statement says that the Biden administration, U.S. officials were concerned about the path that this was traveling on, and also that elevation. Now, when it comes to any risk to civilians, there wasn't any. There were no civilians who were hurt or injured or otherwise affected. Of course, being shot down over water enabled that to be an outcome. And we should note that yesterday there were some questions about an FAA temporary flight restriction put into place in Montana. And there were some questions about what actually triggered that flight restriction. We didn't get a definitive answer on that today. There were a number of differing accounts that we heard. But what this statement from the Pentagon says is that they believe that this object is what actually triggered that flight restriction yesterday. And I just want to read to you exactly what they say.
Shout out to Jesse and Director Kudo.
Saying,
What's up with y'all?
Based on its flight path and data, we can reasonably connect this object to the radar signal picked up over Montana, which flew in proximity to sensitive DoD sites. We did not assess it to be a kinetic military threat to anything on the ground, but assess it.
Here goes my question. If they didn't make contact with it and they didn't do like anything other than visualize it before they destroyed it, how do they know it wasn't a threat? That's my question. Like, shout out to the planet Earth and the military here. Like, we could have like just now started a chain reaction of like an intergalactic civil war. Like, wouldn't that be great if we were responsible for that? Wouldn't that just be amazing if that's what happens? Like, just imagine if there's like a giant sun-sized spaceship that we can't see that's just sitting right outside of our solar system where these little things flew in from, and we have no idea it's there. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine that. Like, what would happen if that was the case?
It was a safety flight hazard and a threat due to its potential surveillance capabilities. Now, surveillance capabilities, the potential for those is key here. So far, we don't know what those capabilities on board this unidentifiable object actually were, but that, rest assured, is going to be something that those who are doing these recovery
Facts, Black Knight.
efforts, which
Shout out
is
to
now
Hey Mr. Knickerbocker.
going to be
What's
getting
good?
underway, are going to be looking for answers to. Paula?
Kylie Atwood, thank you. And Republican Congressman Jack Burgum of Michigan joins us now.
They got this Republican live from the nursing home while he's sitting on the toilet. Shout out to you for not having to wear diapers, sir.
Of you serve on the House Armed Services Committee. What is your reaction to what the Pentagon just revealed, the takedown of this object near Lake Huron?
Well, my reaction is very simple. And that is when the Pentagon called me shortly after it took action, because Lake Huron in that area is in my district. Number one, decisive action using the right.
That's one of those little bathrooms at a hibachi place too. You see the little like fence type thing in the background. So he's sitting there eating good. Make sure you wash your hands when you get done.
Equipment, the F-16, using the right type of munition to do the takedown. But now the big part,
right,
as
Jay.
was mentioned by Kylie a minute ago, is the recovery piece to understand. And Lake Huron is very, very cold this time of year. They're going to have to use some special diving capabilities.
I bet you this motherfucker, when the camera went off, he said, yeah, so young lady, as a former member of Congress, what I'm going to need for you to do is leave your post immediately and come to this room that I'm at and bust it down for me. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that this chick is an alien. And then we got the situation that happened on Species where some old horny motherfucker fucks a female alien and decides to just populate the entire Earth with these hybrid ass aliens. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't tell this woman right here ain't from this planet, I don't know what's wrong with you and shit.
To get down there. The good news is Lake Huron is not that deep, not like Lake Superior, but the need to take decisive action by Northern Command, the Department of Defense, is what we need, because we've seen it over the past few weeks. There are some challenges.
Honey, what's your experience in nut scrubbing and giving sponge baths? Is that on your resume? You know, they be saying shit like that to these motherfuckers. And they'll do it just to get a job. You know what I'm saying? I bet you AOC gave Bernie Sanders some quote unquote point of care service at some point in her career. You know what I'm saying? And look at how well she's doing these days.
To our sovereign airspace.
And this is the third object shot down in just 3 days. How concerned are you about this pattern?
Look at her smiling.
Okay, I just lost
oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, hold on now. The camera finally came in. Yeah, my old ass got about 2 days left. You know what I'm saying? Come on over here. You know what I'm saying? They done maxed out on my life insurance. Shit, I'm about to die tomorrow. That shit costs about $1,000 a month. Get your ass on over here. Fuck this interview.
Your audio. Try one more time.
Sure thing. This is the third object shot down in just 3 days. It seems like we've lost the congressman. We will go to our expert panel and try to circle back with Congressman Jack Berger. All right, let's talk more about this with CNN military analyst.
Speaking of circle back, did you guys hear about the new show on NBC that they're going to be making with Jennifer Psaki as the host, called Circle Back with Jen Psaki? If you guys heard of that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys didn't hear about it, give me a thumbs down. It's called Circling Back with Psaki. You know what I'm saying? And they got her with a black belt and a karate gi on with the Karate Kid headband on her head. You know what I'm saying?
Retired U.S. Air Force Colonel Cedric Leighton and CNN national security analyst Juliette Kayyem. Colonel Leighton, Juliette, thank you so much for being with us. I want to get your reaction to what we just heard from the Pentagon. Juliette, I want to start with you.
So it's just a confirmation of what we had been reporting, which is essentially we still don't know what the object is. I think what's really important is the military is acknowledging that they are getting lots of positives now, because after.
Yeah, but again, remember in the 2020 C-19 legislation, the 2020 C-19 legislation literally said that this is what was going to be something that was ongoing. In the future, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a lot more quote unquote transparency and a lot of quote unquote disclosure, right, with unidentified flying objects. So now we're starting to see the fruition of this. Yeah, this looks like old ass Fran Dressler. You know what I'm saying? She's like, hey, well, I don't know what those things were that we saw flying through the air. Mr. Sheffield said that they might be some kind of drone or something. I don't know. When I had Mr. Sheffield's wallet, I was on Amazon and I didn't really buy nothing while I was on there. Oh man, her voice sounds like some damn tiger claws. Not even nails, man, like tiger claws going down a chalkboard. That's just like, you know what I'm saying? Not. What do you mean not nasally enough, Cats? Catsy. God.
What happened with the Chinese balloon? They are now opening up the aperture. They're getting more positives. They are then assessing what it is in the sky. If it is unmanned, if it is a threat to commercial aviation, and if shooting it down is not going to harm Americans, basically the assumption is we're shooting it down at this stage until we figure out what this is. It does not mean we know it's the Chinese. It does not mean that it's simply these potential positives because of we're looking harder after what happened with the Chinese balloon. And I think we should just anticipate that at this.
the Chinese the Chinese balloon. Yo, listen, man, I'm telling y'all, I can't wait till my channel get bigger. You know what I'm saying? So I can actually like have some good ad revenue, so I can like do some of the shit that I actually want to do. Like if I had my channel as big as I want it right now, right? Man, I would have stopped this shit right now and called like a local Chinese food restaurant and asked them, so do y'all have them new balloons on the menu? I want a balloon with my meal. How much that shit cost? What the fuck you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Tarek and Ghost Walker. What's good with y'all?
Stage until we can identify what it is that they're finding once they shoot it down. And I think any other speculation could be very dangerous for our relations and could honestly harm Americans, because we will be so convinced that this is enemy, that these are enemy balloons or whatever they are, that we could potentially make calculations that do not fit the risk at this stage. So that's sort of where we are right now, and I anticipate we are going to get more of these at this stage.
So great point. Colonel Layton, what's your reaction to this latest development from the Pentagon?
Look, man, China about to have everything. They don't call it C-19 the China virus. Not a balloons is all China balloons and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like everything finna be China. Everything China. Like what?
Yeah, I think, as Juliet said, this does confirm a lot of what we had previously been talking about. One of the key things I thought was very interesting was the fact that they mentioned that the surveillance part of this was a definite possibility. So this seems to lend credence to the idea that these are, in fact, surveillance craft of whatever type. And I think we should treat them as such until we know much more. That means, taking security measures at our bases, at our other government installations.
Yo, I was thinking it, but I wasn't saying nothing, though. I was just like, yo, this dude head look off balance or something. I find myself like staring to the left a little bit too hard, man. Like this dude's head is, I think it's because of the way he got his hair combed up and over. Like you ain't supposed to comb it up and over. You just supposed to comb it over. You know what I'm saying? But his head look like it's off. You know what I'm saying?
And even for personnel, people in the civilian sector, to be somewhat cognizant of the possibility that cell phone conversations could be intercepted by the Chinese. They're already being intercepted in many cases anyways, but it's just one of those things that is a part of the new reality. And these.
Look, let me ask you guys a question. I think this is just me. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I think that the United States is fronting, putting up a fight, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, like, I think that they gave up. Because let me ask you guys a question. See, like, the Chinese is doing all this surveillance, you know what I'm saying, and reconnaissance and stuff like that. And they trying to listen to the conversations that we having. But let's just keep it a buck. Let's just keep it a buck. Let's just say, for instance, let's just say we could tap a Chinese phone, right? Like we got them on phone tap, like the firm. You know what I'm saying? Phone tap. Who gonna understand what the hell they talking about anyway? I listen to all that shit and be done wasted like an hour or two of my time, man. I'll throw my headphones out. I'm done with this shit. I ain't getting nothing out of this. The hell is these motherfuckers talking about?
These devices can, in some ways, make that even more of a plausible threat to people, both the normal people, normal civilians, and people who are in government service.
Yeah, so that's the end of that video. All right, that's the end of that video. Like I said, man, who out there is going to actually understand what a surveilled Chinese phone call is going to sound like anyway? Because I know, me personally, I'm not going to know none of what the hell they was talking about on that call. Nothing. I'm going to be like, is there anybody here who understand this shit? Because I sure as hell don't. I got the phone call. You know what I'm saying? I did everything that my job said to do, but we need a translator over here. There's nothing I can do for this. You know what I'm saying? So now check this out, right? The FAA abruptly canceled national defense airspace over Lake Michigan after reporting potential contact, and it was with that that UFO or whatever that thing was, the high altitude object that they saw. Okay. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, please take a moment, smash the like button. Also help your boy out by sharing the stream. And if you guys haven't subscribed to my backup channels, make sure you guys check out my backup channels. So let's see what this dude is talking about. The Department of Defense, as you guys can see, the DOD, downed object over Alaska posed a reasonable threat. How do we know that? How do we know anything about the object is the question. Like, they still haven't really said anything about that.
Get a couple other folks here. Mike, and then.
That. The only reason the American people know about the first balloon is because a couple of guys in Montana spotted it and it leaked out. My question is, if it had remained secret and had not become a spectacle and arguably an embarrassment to the White House, would you have shot it down or allowed it to continue on its way?
So you're asking me to speculate? So Mike, I'll kind of just push back a little bit at the assertion there. So first of all, again, what made this balloon different was the length and duration that it was over the continental United States. Look, we track activities all over the globe on a daily basis.
They track activities all over the globe, but they didn't know what the hell was going on in North America. Do you see this? Yeah, so, we know everything. We just don't know anything. How many times have you heard that? Well, we know everything. We just don't know anything. Just understand that, when it comes to, we know everything. But, there's some situations where we just don't know anything. And this is one of those situations where we know everything, but we don't know anything. So everything that we know, we're not going to tell you because we don't have anything to tell you because we know everything, but we don't know anything. Next question, please.
Some of which will remain classified because, again, we don't want to reveal sources and methods. In this particular case, I can tell you that there were efforts underway to make that public. Montana journalists reporting notwithstanding. All that to say, look, there are going to be times when there's activities happening that we're monitoring that we're not going to go public, especially if it doesn't present a particular or pose a significant threat to the American public. But again, as we monitored that balloon, there was an effort underway to ensure that folks understood what this was, especially given how visible it was. And I'll just stop there. Thank you.
Yeah, he said, I'll just stop there because what's going on right now is I'm letting my mouth get me in trouble. So I'm just going to shut up right now. Okay, interview over.
Now, in light of the Chinese balloon program and this recent incursion into...
Wow. I didn't expect that voice. Hey, now, in light of the Chinese balloon program, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting Joe Pesci at the White House. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen here. Okay, so what happened here was that there was this fucking balloon in the sky, all right? And we had a couple F-18 aircrafts, and we shot the fucker down. Any questions?
Now, in light of the Chinese balloon program and this recent incursion...
Oh, are there more? Is that your question? Is that what you're asking? Are there more? Forget about it. Forget about it.
The United States and Canada, through NORAD, have been more closely scrutinizing that airspace, including enhancing our radar capabilities, which, as the commander of NORTHCOM and NORAD, General Van Herk, said just last night, may at least partially explain the increase in the objects that
Shout
have
out
been
to my
detected.
man Skrells. You know what I'm saying? What's good with the Skrells?
Slow-moving objects at high altitude with a small radar cross-section are difficult to detect on radar. Even objects the size of the Chinese spy balloon, which had a payload the size of roughly 3 school buses, were not picked up by previous administrations or other countries. We also know that a range of entities, including countries, companies, research, and academic organizations, operate objects at these altitudes for purposes that are not nefarious at all, including scientific research. That said,
okay, was the balloon or was any of these objects belonging to any of those organizations that you just named? Like, see, this is that stuff that I be talking about. Why would you name all of those, knowing you have no idea what you're talking about? Because all he did is it could be this, it could be that, it could be this, it could be that. I mean, it could be this. I mean, what everybody knows is that it could be that, but it could be this, and it could be that, and it could be this, and it could be that. But what I'm here to tell you guys today is that we have no idea what it is. But, you know, we just shot it out of the air just to make sure that, you know, everybody's safe, you know, because we have the situation under control. Even though we don't have anything under control, we got everything under control because we don't have anything. So anything is everything. And if nothing is everything, that means that we have everything. Like, shut up, dude.
because we have not yet been able to definitively assess what these most recent objects are, we acted out of an abundance of caution to protect the security, our interest, and flight safety. In Saturday's case,
Yeah, he do sound like a government soprano. So, sir, can you tell me, does the government have any knowledge of the origins of where this thing may have come from? Well, you know what they say. If I tell you, I have to kill you. You know, the last person that asked about UFOs, his name happened to be Jimmy Hoffa. You know what happened to that guy. Watch him say that shit.
we acted in consultation with the Canadian government, the president speaking personally with Prime Minister Trudeau. The spy balloon was, of course, different because we knew precisely where that was. As we have said, we do not assess that these most recent objects posed any direct threat to people on the ground, and we are laser focused on confirming their nature and purpose, including through intensive efforts to collect debris in the remote locations where they have fallen. In each instance, we have followed the same basic.
Look, you see his face? You know what that you know what that face mean? None of you journalists, none of you motherfuckers better put your hands up when I get done with this shit. When I get done with this, I'm getting off of this stage. I'm leaving the podium. Y'all better not ask me one question. You see how he keeps side-eyeing him?
Of course. We assessed whether they posed any kinetic threat to people on the ground. They did not. We assessed whether they were sending any communication signals. We detected none. We looked to see whether they were maneuvering or had any propulsion capabilities. We saw no signs of that. And we made sure to determine whether or not they were manned. They were not. We did, however, assess that their altitudes were considerably lower than the Chinese high-altitude balloon and did pose a threat to civilian commercial air traffic. And while we have no specific reason to suspect that they were conducting surveillance.
That's my question. How were the assessments done? They were probably done using those skills that they teach us in kindergarten, like use your imagination. You know what I'm saying? They was up there assessing those things while they was flying those F-18s singing, "It's a beautiful day in the altitude, a beautiful day in the altitude. I'm going to shoot you down. I'm going to shoot you down." It's a beautiful day in the altitude, a beautiful day in the altitude. I'm going to shoot you down.
Of any kind. We couldn't rule that out. That is why the president, at the recommendation of of the Secretary of Defense, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the NORTHCOM NORAD commander gave the order to shoot them down.
Yeah, see, there you go. Told
These
you.
missions were completed successfully.
Told you. There's nothing else to see here, folks. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing else to see here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so they decided to cancel the National Defense Airspace over part of Lake Michigan. The FFA said it had closed down the area to allow the U.S. military to examine a potential contact that was soon determined to not be a threat. What in the hell does a potential contact mean? You know, like if you turn on a dating app and swipe right, that's a potential contact because that person can potentially contact you. What in the hell are they talking about? It's just a bunch of word salad with nasty low-fat dressing on it, DSB. Like blue cheese. Ugh. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think we good. I don't think we need to read any more of this. You know what I'm saying? Because we got the gist, right? You know what I'm saying? We know what's up. We know what time it is. They found some stuff over Montana. FAA briefly closed down the airspace. Now, who wants to see the description of what was shot down over China? Or I'm sorry, over Canada. They got a 49-second video here on the New York Post talking about a description of what was shot down over Canada. But how are you going to describe it in 49 seconds? AB Promotions, you like blue cheese? You a brave soul. I got nothing but respect for you, my man. I can't do it. I can't do it. Honestly, it's difficult for me to rationalize any kind of dairy. Once in a blue moon, like, you know, you can't really have a hamburger without cheese on it. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. Any other dairy, like, I literally get sick to my stomach at the thought of it. You know what I'm saying?
Working in collaboration with our partners, including the United States, NORAD, and other departments, Canada was tracking a high-altitude object over central Yukon. North American Aerospace Defense Command detected this object and launched...
Look. Hey, check this out. So look, Black Knight. So they said that one of the things that was flying around over Canada was like a big, long cylinder, right? So I heard that Officer Megan Hall, since she left the police department, she started, you know, doing some Air Force reserves. So they sent her up there, right? She was like, oh, shit, it's something big and long in the sky. I'm about to go see what the fuck that is. Girl, slow down first and foremost, because that's what got your ass in trouble at the police department. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? She went on up there and flew up there in one of them airplanes. And then she said, fuck this shit when she got up there and found out that they were unmanned.
Canadian and U.S. fighter aircraft to investigate. The object was visually identified using fighter aircraft assigned to NORAD. At the direction of the Prime Minister, aircraft assigned to NORAD successfully took down this high-altitude airborne object at approximately 3:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Thank you for not describing it. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? So if they weren't able to describe it in those 48 seconds, and this was the video for this article, I don't really see them describing it in the article. Look at this. Here it is right here. Check this out. The unidentified airborne object shot out of the sky by U.S. military jets over Canada on Saturday was reportedly a small metallic balloon with a tethered payload. So this balloon was a tether, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And it had a payload. I told you they'd be paying motherfuckers to come over here. That balloon was a paid tether. It says it right here. Metallic balloon with a tethered payload. So they sent this balloon tether over here with a wheelbarrow full of money. To be talking about, nigga, I came to the United States in a balloon and I'm doing better than you. You know what I'm saying? Some bullshit. Pentagon officials said that the object was detected over Alaska late Friday and was closely tracked by U.S. and Canadian military aircraft as it crossed into Canadian airspace before it was taken down over the Yukon Territory by American F-22 fighter jet around 3:41 p.m. Eastern Time. Canadian Defense Minister Anita Anand told reporters that the object, which was flying at an altitude of 40,000 feet, appears to be a small cylindrical object and smaller than the one downed off the coast of South Carolina on February 4th. No additional details about the object were immediately available. However, Anand added there is no reason to believe that the impact of the object in Canadian territory is of U.S. officials familiar with, so they just didn't put anything. Oh, any public concern. All right. U.S. officials familiar with the situation told the Wall Street Journal that the object appeared to be a small metallic balloon with a tethered payload. A small metal. Now, have you guys ever seen a metallic balloon? Would that be like a blimp? Shout out to Grimlock. Me, Grimlock. You know what I'm saying? Leader of the Dinobots. Me, Grimlock, don't know what this balloon is. You don't know what the balloon is, Grimlock? The Dinobots was so damn, man, they needed to take some ginkgo. The Dinobots, man, they needed some damn ginkgo so bad. So bad. You know what I'm saying? But I fuck with Grimlock, though. I fuck with Grimlock. Grimlock was one of the few Autobots that had heart. So now here it says a NORAD spokesman, Major Oliver Gallant, said that the military has determined what it was, but would not reveal the details. Okay, so then why would you tell us that you determined what it is? Yeah, we know what it is, but nah, you can't know it. Like, are you serious? Y'all don't know what the hell it is, because if y'all knew what it was, y'all wouldn't even have made that little announcement. Yeah, we know what it is. We just ain't gonna say shit. Like, the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we know what it is. We ain't gonna tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? But just know this: y'all safe. Go on about your day. Like, what? This is how the government do, man. Anand said that recovery operations for the object were still underway by the Canadian Armed Forces in conjunction with the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So the mounted police, the Mounties, go gallop up there in the horses and pick up all the pieces that fell down. There it is right there. This is the balloon and shit. Metallic balloon. What's up? What's up with that, man? What's really good? Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker says small metallic balloon. I think of silver birthday balloons. The payload was some bells. This shit fake. If you guys agree with, hey, Mr. Knickerbocker, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. And real quick, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Also, please make sure that you guys smash the like button. All right. And also, if you can, please make sure that you share the video out to your social media. All right. So Justin Trudeau looking confused right there. Isn't he? Don't he look confused? He like, oh, shit. So now here it says down here, the balloon was a part of a large surveillance program that China has been conducting for several years, the Pentagon has said. It's not clear if the other objects were shot down by the Chinese. So the United States basically knows that that China has been conducting this surveillance. You know what I'm saying? They know that the Chinese have been conducting this kind of surveillance. So now what I find interesting, right, is that when these kind of things take place, they don't really talk about the other aerial phenomenon that are going on. You know what I'm saying? I'm lost too, director. I'm just as lost as the U.S. government, and they're lost. How many of y'all heard about this? All right. There was a situation where a New York bound flight made an emergency landing after flames erupt from a wing. Could you imagine that? You sitting on the plane, you know what I'm saying? The flight attendant just came by and said, make sure that you fasten your seatbelt and, you know, get comfortable for your ride. Refreshments will be coming in 15 minutes. And you like, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to sit back. I'm about to chill. I'm about to turn on some of the airplane entertainment. I don't like being on a plane is really irritating to me. Them planes are not made for people who are 6 feet tall and over. You know what I'm saying? Your knees start to hurt. You know what I'm saying? The cushioning on the chair, it's not the best. You know what I'm saying? So you're just not comfortable as it is anyway. You chewing on a Slim Jim or on a beef jerky or something like that, and you look out the window and you're like, oh, you know, man, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? The wing on fire and shit. Then you turn back around. Wait a minute, what the fuck? The wing is on fire. Yeah, the motherfucking wing is on fire. And you just stuck there, up in the air, wing on fire on the damn plane. You know what I'm saying? Look at this shit. This had to be on this had to be on Spirit. And that's one of the reasons I don't fly no shit like Spirit. You know what I'm saying? And don't ever try to save no money on no damn airplane tickets. You turn around and that shit, you turn around and look out the window when you put a little blind thing over. You know them little those blinds that they got. You pull that shit over and the wings outside is on fire. But see, I'm crazy though. I'm not scared of anything. Like I literally am crazy like that. Like I'm mentally damaged. Like I have no fear of anything. So I'd have been like, shit. Anybody got some turkey patties or anybody got some ground beef patties? We can get a quick barbecue in before we go. You know what I'm saying? Just give me a little stick and I can poke that shit out the window and heat up some barbecue real quick before the plane go down. We going down anyway. You may as well go down eating good because you know they ain't got shit on this plane. Look at this. It's just outside, just burnt up. They're awful calm for that going down too. They're calm. Like the kids is like, oh, mom, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? And mom's like, oh, kids, you know what I'm saying? Be quiet. The wing is on fire. Like the kids being quiet is going to put the damn fire out on the wing. Man, them kids better yell loud as they can. Shit. Look, man, people handle shit different, man. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people handle shit different. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, you know, just let the airline handle it. Oh, hell no, shit. Where the damn parachute at so I can get the fuck out of here? You know what I'm saying? I'm doing the same shit that I always do in a stressful situation. Where the bathroom at so I can get on my cell phone? I'm about to get right in the bathroom and get on my phone. I ain't playing around with y'all. The only people listen, man, shout out to the kids, because in a lot of cases, man, parents actually learn from the kids. Because think about this, right? As an adult, you've gone through so much of the world that you have brain damage. Your kids at the youngest ages have the most pure, unfiltered brains. They've not been hit by any propaganda. Like they literally see the world for what it is. So as you can see in this situation, the only people having the appropriate reaction to the damn airplane being on fire is the kids. Because you can see the kids are crying. The whole damn plane should be crying. The wing is on fire and y'all up about 30,000 feet in the air. And the parents like, shut the fuck up, you know, just shut up. The kid like, yeah, no, you shut the fuck up. We about to die. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the kids crying. And it's the young kids crying. So the young kids are right. They're having the right response. Oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? All that crying, this, all that crying shit, that in adult language, that translates to, oh shit, this motherfucker's going down. You know what I'm saying? The parents just talking, having a good old time, playing Candy Crush, and just keep it moving. We'll be all right. No, you won't. Yeah, bruh. You're not on a jet. You see what I'm saying? You're on a plane. You see what I'm saying? You're not on a jet. There shouldn't be no fire coming out of anywhere. An airplane carrying dozens of passengers from Scotland to JFK Airport in New York made an emergency landing on Friday after flames erupted from a wing. A video of the terrifying incident, which nobody seemed terrified except for the kids, showed massive sparks bursting from the aircraft, and as worried passengers cry in the background. And when no damn worried, those were the passengers' children. Those was not adults sounding like that. See, shout out to the answer. The answer said, when I was a kid, my airplane caught on fire and I was traumatized for life. I believe it. Hey, Mr. Knickerbocker said, panic is not the correct response on a plane. What's the correct response? You just lay down under the seat in a nice, neat position so they can just come by and scoop your bones up when you get smashed and turned into human jelly when that shit hits from 30,000 feet. At the point where your airplane is on fire and you're going down with the engine out of control, literally anything is appropriate because you literally have seconds before you're dead. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing everything I can. Like, I'm about to have if I looked outside and that wing was on fire, I'm about to have the best next 12 seconds in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to do all kinds of fuck shit in the next 12 seconds because that's it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody about to get punched. Some ass is finna get grabbed. I'm about to steal some shit. I'm about to light up a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm probably about to commit like 10 felonies in the next 6 seconds. You know what I'm saying? If I know I only have 10 seconds left to live. You know how on those anime cartoons, like the background go away and it'd be like all that light and energy. My clothes about to disappear and an outfit that says SP finna come on. Because in those last 15 seconds of my life, I'm finna be super pooky. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, what happened? What happened to Rob? This motherfucker just turned into a ratchet hood ghetto ain't shit ass thug. Shit, I only got 10 seconds left to live. You know what I'm saying? I can't do shit the right way. I got to do that shit all fast. You know what I'm saying? So now here says the passengers told the BBC that they heard a loud bang not long after the plane soared from the Edinburgh airport. They should have stopped and turned around and checked out to see what the hell that shit was. The JFK bound Delta Airlines flight. So this was on Delta Airlines. Yeah, pray for me that I go peacefully in my sleep at age 130. Don't let me realize that I'm about to die. Shit, do not let me realize I'm about to die. I'm about to be on the news in like 6 different states in less than 15 seconds. You know what I'm saying? All kind of PlayStations finna get stolen. Xbox is finna get stolen. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to sample every single drug known to man. You know what I'm saying? Doors getting kicked off, brothels and strip clubs, cars getting broken into. Man, it's about to be a whole Grand Theft Auto in 10 seconds. That shit finna be a mix between Grand Theft Auto and Ain't Nothing But a G Thing Baby video. You know what I'm saying? with a little bit of Fortnite in there. You know? So now here it says the JFK-bound Delta Airlines flight DAL 209 quickly diverted to the Glasgow Prestwick Airport, located just 80 miles from the takeoff point. That's good that they was able to get to some place that was only 80 miles from the takeoff point. That probably didn't take very long. You know what I'm saying? Snakes on a Plane was real. This was Flames on a Plane. This was the sequel to Snakes on a Plane. This was Flames on a Plane. Samuel L. Jackson was on this plane talking about, you motherfuckers thought y'all survived the snakes. Y'all ain't surviving no flames. The plane had only been in the air for about 40 minutes before it was forced to land. That shit was forced to lean back. Flight crew told the outlet the plane was suffering from engine problems. It was suffering. The plane was back there crying too. The plane took off and there was a loud engine noise similar to the noise normally during takeoffs and landing, but it seemed to continue once we were in the air. BBC News journalist Laura Pettigrew, who was on board, said. The captain walked the length of the aircraft just before the crew told passengers they would be making an emergency landing, she said. When the plane touched down, we could see fire trucks and firefighters with hoses rushing toward us, Pettigrew said. Okay. The reporter noted that passengers appeared more confused and panicked. Yeah, they was confused. This is what I'm saying, because you don't believe some shit like that is real. And that's the problem with when you're an adult. The adults are probably like, oh, you know, we paid for these Delta tickets. Some special effects out there. Look at that, y'all, snapping pictures of it. The kids like, the kids in there like, y'all crazy as hell. We about to die. You know what I'm saying? The kids like, what the hell y'all taking pictures of, man? We dead. You know what I'm saying? Among the passengers were children. See, I told you some kids up there and teachers from a secondary school on their way to the U.S. for a trip over February break, STV News reported. So, man, I'm glad this could have been bad, but here's the question. In this article, they don't say what it is that caused the flames. They don't say what it is that caused the flames. You see what I'm saying? Which is interesting, because this is not something that usually happens. It's not something that usually happens. What if something hit the wing and caused the fire? And that's what that loud noise was, because they said that they heard a loud noise. You know what I'm saying? They said that they heard a loud noise. And we're going to just take a look at this Washington Post article because it looks cool. They got some pretty cool diagrams on it. You know what I'm saying? But this is some interesting stuff, though. You know what I'm saying? This is some interesting stuff. And like I said, if you guys like this kind of content, I'll be more than happy to do more of it, because you'd be surprised. This actually made the news, but stuff like this is going on all the time. You know what I'm saying? So the U.S. shot 4 objects out of the sky in 9 days. What to know? Okay. Let's check this video out real quick. Hopefully they don't have
If it is found to have
they
originated
got
in
more.
China, what do you think the potential impact could be with regards to our diplomatic relations?
To the best of our knowledge, this was the first time that a NORAD operation has downed an aerial object. The object was downed approximately 100 miles from the Canada-United States border over Canadian territory in central Yukon.
They just shot it. See the smoke coming from it?
The United States was not the only target of this broader program, which has violated the sovereignty of countries across 5 continents.
So we just have to be vigilant. We need to be aware of the constant risk of Chinese intelligence, and then step up what we do to protect ourselves.
This last week, provided the United States with a unique
Yeah, I heard
opportunity,
about that train
to
that derailed. It was in East Palestine. That's kind of far from where I live at. But they said that the contents of it is starting to decay and it's making some toxic chemicals, and that the Ohio River has been contaminated. So, you know what I'm saying? It's interesting. We'll see what happens.
learn a lot more about the Chinese surveillance balloon program, all information that will help us to continue to strengthen our ability to track these kinds of objects.
No, we made it clear to China what we're going to do. They understand our position. We're not going to back off. We did the right thing. And there's not a question of weakening or strengthening. It's just reality.
Yeah, well, look at Joe Biden trying to be an alpha male. So now this is a little diagram here of where all of these things were seen at. And what this tells me is that these things were concentrated in the United States. See, even the ones that are in Canada, like the ones that are by Canada, they're by Alaska and then like right on that border by Canada's Yukon territory. You see that? And then the other ones are on the east coast of the United States. So we got the northwest coast of the United States covered, and then we got the eastern part of the United States covered. So now I wouldn't be surprised if the next ones that they find are by California and Florida and possibly Texas. You know what I'm saying? They might find one like in the Gulf of Mexico. Those would be my guesses. If they even announce them. They probably won't even announce the next ones. They'll just say they got rid of them all. You know what I'm saying? So this looks like somebody popped a pastry thing and a whole bunch of flour came out. You know what I'm saying? So despite how cool this article looks, I don't think that we need to read it because we've gone through this and it's only so many times that you can go through these things. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep an eye on this kind of stuff. And we're going to follow this up because I don't think this will be the last time we hear about the quote unquote Chinese spy balloon, which soon it'll be a hate crime to refer to balloons and the Chinese in the same sentence. So we'll have to come up with some code word for that. And we'll just see what happens. All right. But I think the most interesting thing is to just remember how in 2020, it was quietly written into the C-19 legislation that the United States military would be more open and be declassifying information about quote unquote UFOs. So if you ask me, that's what you should know about the recent high altitude objects phenomenon. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice, smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and I will catch you all on the next video. All right? Peace.